Um, it is wonderful to see you and all the people that will be coming in here on our stream. It's my fault. Schedules change, things change, but that doesn't matter. I owe the responsibility to the people to come in here and keep telling you the truth. I can't be at two places at the same time. I hear you, girl. Um, I gotta tell the people. I gotta give the people what they want. Alexa, resume the music. I gotta give the people what they want, man. You know what I'm saying? You too. It's good to see you. The real Spiel is back. And because I've firmed up some things with my schedule, the real Spiel will be back at this time all the time, and everything will be kosher. Everything will be African, in fact. Yes. So, Alexa, stop the music. I just wanted to give my YouTube people a little theme music. We can't leave you guys out. But listen, we're having a conversation today about the modern woman versus the traditional woman. Maybe a conversation that I've had in the past, and something that I'm going to definitely rewind just for this particular show. Let me get some people to come in here. I'm going to throw some people in here, let them know I'm here. In case you didn't get that notification. Not everybody's always sitting around on their Instagram with nothing to do with their life like me. So I got to make sure people are in here. I'm just going to send it out to a few people. Let everybody know, all my regulars, everybody know that Uncle Del is here on The Real Spiel. But again, for those on YouTube, we're going to be coming on. Hello, Yvonne. Good to see you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me back. But it's very good to see you. I'm apologizing for my hiatus since the soiree, which was a fantastic success. I've been on a hiatus, so that's my fault. That's my laziness, and I'm going to fix it. Okay, so right now, I'll let some people. Hey, Cher's in there, Amory's in here. Good to see a few people popping in. People on YouTube. Listen, we're going to get into the conversation very quick because I've been rambling because I know that Eve is coming in on about 8:15. So I'm giving her some time to get herself organized. But we're having a conversation today about modern woman versus that traditional woman. We're going to definitely talk about modern men, right? And for those who are unfamiliar or will be or are unfamiliar and you're getting familiar with this platform, see you, Anne Marie, and I see you, Sherry. This platform is a platform to speak strongly as an advocacy for positive, masculine, male role models, conversations, philosophy in respect to how men have been, I think, misappropriated in the eyes of, I would say, current culture. And current culture is, in my opinion, the last 5 years. Okay. Which type of women do you prefer, modern or traditional? Me specifically, I love the traditional woman. And I have no issue with the traditional woman in the context of my definition. The modern woman, to be honest with you, is a nice way of saying radical feminists. And this is what it's a code word for radical feminists. Just so you know, straight. When we say modern women, and the manosphere says modern women, they're basically talking about radical feminism. And radical feminism is not feminism. No men that I know are against feminism. Feminism doesn't have an issue with masculinity. Feminism doesn't have an issue with men. And feminism doesn't even have an issue with patriarchy. Feminism wants to make sure that women are able to compete educationally, vocationally, with men in the marketplace. They want to make sure that women and young girls receive the same level of activism in both legislation and in the social contract. They want to make sure that the conversation about women ensures that we put women in a place where they can do everything that the Western world has afforded to men. And feminism has come around to advocate for that. Now, some people will say, well, now feminism wasn't good for the Black woman. It gave her affirmative action. It told her that she can go out there and compete with her husband, and then it slipped in things like Planned Parenthood, and it slipped in independence, but it broke up the Black family. Again, I'm taking it from an intellectual perspective. That is not what feminism came to do, and that is not what affected Black households to cause Black women to be in the current condition that is the critique of the era that we're Black women referred to as modern women. And this is not just Black women, but women who refer to as modern women. But that conversation about how feminism negatively affected Black women, I don't agree with that. I think radical feminism, or better put, misandry. Okay, so misogyny is misandry is the opposite of misogyny. So mis in Greek means hatred, right? Andros is man, male, right? So misandros is the hatred of men, or misandry is the hatred of men. And so, which is the opposite of misogyny. Many people have heard of misogyny, but none of you, I bet you not many of you have heard of misandry. So that is essentially the hatred of men, the conceptualization that men ain't expletive, that men, there's no such thing as a good man, that this current dialogue, all men cheat, therefore you got to just allow them to cheat. All men are dogs, and the cycle and negative diatribe that takes place in the conversations of many urban and many modern women is extremely negative. So my voice forever is here to advocate on behest of men, so that is not the only conversation that is being had about men. And I think it's important for me, as a man who raised 3 sons, as a man who has 3 daughters, and I got some extra daughters too. I got some like daughters, some add-on daughters who, people that I coach and people that I mentor. I want to make sure that the effect that I have on their lives is to ensure that their information and their understanding about a man is positive. That when they get out there into the world, they're not tattooed mentally with the trauma of this current age. And I'm here to tell you right away, 100% from the beginning, misandry is a mental illness. And if it's not a mental illness, it is definitely a mental disorder or a personality disorder. It absolutely is. How did it come there? And I had a conversation with my daughter today, and she was talking about depression. And she said, I said to her, depression is not an illness; it's a disorder, and there's a difference. An illness you can catch. An illness somebody might even be contagious and pass it on. But a disorder is something that comes about via various experiences / traumas in your life, pressures that cause you to become this particular personality. So misandry is a personality disorder. It is a personality disorder that can literally become a psychosis. It could become so strong in that individual, it's like a mental illness. And so this hashtag that they've been trying to pin on men lately of refer, and it's very modern, right? Because the modern woman has modern weapons that attack men. And of course, the number one modern weapon out of the mouths of the modern woman, and it's become almost a hysterical contagion in their philosophy and outlook towards men is calling all men narcissists. And so when you refer to somebody as a narcissist, essentially what it has become the overarching devaluation of their masculinity. It erodes masculinity. It takes, oh, here she comes. Here she comes. You're on here. Eve is coming. But that tagline takes masculinity away. I see you, Shorty. I know you. Oh, here she is. The queen is here. The queen is here. The queen is in the building. The queen is in the building. Hey. I was just talking about a few things here, and I'm going to segue you in right now that the intent and the purpose of me being here in this space is to build a healthy attitude in respect to men. And once you build a healthy attitude in respect to men, by default, it will build a healthy attitude in respect to women and in respect to families. And I feel right now for myself that even since you and I spoke in Africa in 2019, I just feel that there has been a degeneration of the attitude publicly in respect to who men are. And it boils down to this conversation of there are two dominant thoughts in the feminine hemispheres of thought, that there's this modern woman thought and there's this traditional woman thought. And it's stuff that we jumped into and had conversations about in Africa. And I want to introduce you to Eve's production, the biggest thing in Africa. And please segue, tell them how we met and how we got this thing going years ago.
Wow, honestly, glory be to the Most High, because I believe you meet people not only because it's a coincidence, but you meet people because there's a purpose.
Right.
And I think the way we met was through business, actually. We met right away, instantaneously. Our minds were in sync. We're like, let's go see these properties. Let's go explore. And I think that has been something that many, Black men don't pretty much do. But at that time, you were doing that. So it was through us going to a resort to check out the resort to see what we could do. And I think it was through events. I'm like, oh, let's do events. And then I think it was a business contract on a big land in Accra.
Right.
So
how do we get, remember the group of us that went to that hotel so late? Where were we before? I forget.
Leo, it was Holiday Inn.
Yeah, we went to the Holiday Inn. What were we doing before?
I think what it was, were we coming from an event or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think we were hungry or something.
Hungry, and there was the best hot chocolate from Holiday Inn.
Right.
You guys, when you hit down, go to Holiday Inn and get that.
But you know what? Don't dumb it down for them, because people, when you say Holiday Inn in the West, they're thinking some little flea bitten motel.
Bougie.
6 star. And you know what? A lot of people don't understand that. Listen, Ghana is a first world nation. It's not a third world. It's not a second world. It's a first world nation. When you see some of the amenities, the places that we hung out, they were bougie.
It was elite. Where we hung out was elite.
I'm telling you.
So I don't know why they're trying to take this picture of Africa, but Africa is like paradise on its own.
Right.
It's free, because that's how I met you. I'm
right.
And the funny thing is that if it was Toronto, probably wouldn't meet in that light. But Ghana is so community based to the point that you meet someone and you're hanging out with them, and it's a genuine connection.
And we keep meeting each other in all the various spots too, because we went back, we were both in Ghana in the year of the return.
Yes.
That was major. Tell people what that is for some people who don't know what that is.
So the year of return is similar to the Israelites going back home, where the government allowed people to come back home and invest. So through that year, that's the year that I actually got stuck. I never came back.
I know. I'm so. When I saw you at Afrofest the other day, I was shocked. When I saw you at Afrofest on the weekend, I was like, The queen is here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's basically a welcome to the younger generation and other, like let's say all categories of life to come back to Ghana to experience Ghana and basically bring your investments there and for us to build the economy. That's what it really was. And also people took it as a time to see their roots. Most of the Americans came. It was honestly directed mostly to the Americans that felt like they were lost during the Black Lives Matter. So they capitalized on that as well. So basically heritage and investment.
And you know what? I was able to go to Ghana and I went through proper channels and I received my Ghanaian citizenship. I think we mentioned that. You don't know that? I have my passport. I have a Ghanaian passport.
So where's the accent?
I'm it's the same. I'm bringing it. Boko, but I'm bringing the accent. I have my Ghanaian driver's license. What's that?
You got a little 1-2 accent.
A little 1-2. I picked up a little 1-2-0.
Right. Oh man. Well, blessings. You've done well. Done well.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like to see you in this space because honestly, I really feel like a time is coming. The generation to come and generation who are also in your generation are gonna appreciate you for as an individual speaking on these things. And maybe someone watching is like, oh, Dell just started. No, he did not start over here. He didn't start on Instagram. When nobody like honestly, Dell started from hotels or even beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember you on relationship topics. It was always direct. You were always like serious about it, and so I'm very proud of you. And more platforms are gonna come for you to like showcase who you truly are. Keep going,
Queen. We thank you. Now tell me this. I'll give a definition, and you can give your definition. I don't want you to have to absorb mine, but I was saying earlier that the modern woman, the term "the modern woman" in the manosphere, what men are saying, is really a term that means radical feminists, women who are essentially either haters of men or they're women who say things that mean they hate men. I don't need a man. I'm independent. Any man who comes to the stage, he's got to do this, and this, or he doesn't qualify to be in my life, and blah, blah, blah. And so all these conversations from extremely extreme to moderate, those are referred to as the modern woman experience, the modern woman expression versus the traditional woman. And my question to you is, do you see, and we're coming to the West, but do you see this thought process happening in Africa at all?
Okay. That's why I really feel like social media is dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, social media is planting seeds in ways that I don't even get scared of. Like, that's why we have to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. I'm actually speaking from a point of spirituality because I understand modern women, which is great, but I'm also scared that, like yesterday night, I was with my cousins talking about, it's so funny how you always bring topics that are really surfacing around the universe. And it was more so about my cousin who's married. He's at our age, and I was like, okay, bro, how is it like being married, like being in a marriage? And he's like, it's great. And then one of my cousins is like, I don't want us to paint. I don't want to do nothing. I want to do.
Hold on.
Africa. Okay, don't really do that category of being unsubmissive. Most women are submissive in their own ways. And I think if you try to apply the modern woman here to Ghana, may never work because they're so used to being traditional. And me coming from a traditional home, my dad was actually a great example of tradition because my mom only submits because he has allowed himself to be respectful to my mom to submit. So I think the two modern women and traditional women thing, it might not work in Ghana because Ghana does not believe in those modern, and they do, but then they don't, if that makes sense.
Right.
But if social media keeps on pushing the agenda, you might end up seeing a lot of different
behaviors, right?
Yes. But I will tell you one thing, right? Where I'm from, the Ashanti people, they honor their women, like in a sense of queenship. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
a matriarchy. It's a strong matriarchy. Yes.
Exactly. And I grew up with my dad programming me as a queen. I didn't just like everyone's seeing queen now, but it didn't start from now.
Mm-hmm.
It really started from childhood, and me seeing how my dad treated my mom, and that's a reflection of a king, and so therefore she would submit.
Right.
So I'm used to the traditional way of doing things. I'm used to being a woman who can submit once a king allows you to, do that. But that only comes if the guy is, let's say, on top of his things, because it's an empire.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is a whole empire. So this whole modern women thing may not work with the traditions, because some women would say, if I'm a traditional woman, that means I have to do this, I have to do that. But there's a home, or let's say an empire you're trying to build. So certain roles do require certain duties. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in it. I believe in tradition. So I
saw this in Ghana, right? I saw very strong women who would tell their husband their mind, but they're cleaning, they're cooking, they're taking care of the house, but that man is hearing an earful. So but some of them, I experienced one who was not very nice about it. Her husband was fine though. Her aggressiveness was not to him, but to every other man anywhere near. She was very toxic to everybody else, but not to her husband. Her husband, she was fine, but she was a tiger, right?
I love that.
So
I love that.
That is as far as I've seen it. But she cleaned. She made sure food was cooked for him, right? She made sure the house was perfect. She made sure people didn't do anything. Like, she was 100% for her husband, but she was a poisonous viper, bro. I wouldn't want that. But what we're seeing, but my point is, I still saw submissiveness in the strongest of women in Ghana. The strongest of them, I saw submissiveness. So, and when I say submissiveness, I mean a woman who said, it is okay for me to serve my husband, to cater to his needs, to have a mindset that I am for him and he is for me, and so submissiveness has a bad term here, because when women, I think,
I was about to ask you, what does submission mean to you? What's your definition of submission?
And I'm going to give you my definition from a male's perspective as how a man should be submissive, right? Because I'm a very submissive man, meaning this: when that is my queen, it's like, baby, what do you want? Okay, well, you want to do it like that? Okay, we could do it like that. It's okay. My predilection to how I deal with her is accommodation. However, my masculinity is a wall, is an indestructible wall. It's not going anywhere. But I will cater. I will become King Kong. I'm King Kong. Right? Somebody said to me the other day, "You and this gorilla thing. Gorillas, apes aren't nice." I said, you got a bad understanding of King Kong. The movie King Kong was stolen from his natural habitat. Okay? He was taken to the West, and his strength, his giganticism, his uniqueness was looked upon, merchandised, preyed upon, and then he fell in love with a white woman. And he had an interracial relationship with his beauty, and to the point that he wouldn't even let that lady walk. He carried her everywhere that she needed to go. In fact,
so I'm gonna cut you off over there. So you see this thing that's going on. It's a big topic. I know everyone's probably seen it. There's a lot of interracial couples.
Okay.
And most of them are saying our men are honestly going to the other race. And why do you think so? Like, do you think it's because our women are, or it's because that is what they're taught.
Okay, man. I gotta put my hat on.
gotta
I gotta
shut
put
your
my
mouth
hat
so
on
you
tight
can
for this
understand.
conversation because I'm ready to have it. I've been ready to have it. I'm thank you
I want to hear
thank you
it.
for bringing it up.
No.
Okay, because King Kong died, taking his girl he took her on a tour to the Empire State Building, took her on a date to the Empire State Building, and he died for that interracial relationship. Listen, I saw a woman today. It was, I think it was the Instagram is called Spiritual World. It was a black woman, and I'm going to have the conversation. If there's children here, hide the ear. She was saying why she would not give her man fellatio. Do we know what fellatio is? I'm going to use the word fellatio.
Oh,
And
no, definitely we know what fellatio is.
Yes.
My friend Tracy Cash, I think she's watching. She says fellatio a lot.
Okay. So she said the reason she does not do fellatio is because, and she named a number of reasons, but one of the reasons that blew my mind was you men date outside of your race, talking to black men. And I was like, very interesting. And so to answer your question and to segue into that, first and foremost, there's only one race. It's called the human race. It's only one race. It's called the human race. There are multiple cultures, multiple ethnicities. Even within black culture, a Ghanaian will cuss you if you say you look Nigerian. If you tell a Ghanaian person, hey, that Nigerian jollof rice is better than yours, you have a civil war happening right there. So we have cultural issues, ethnic issues, even while we are still melanated with the same complexion. And so the reason black men are choosing, and whether this be, I don't have a statistic on this. I know that black men choose just about anything where black women do not. Black women date black men for the most part. But black men do choose to date outside of their ethnic background simply because of character. Simply because of character. And certain characters in women are more appealing for longevity. Some people don't want to fight. And this is the last part, and I'll let you segue in. Other ethnicities, because of either working out or because of BBLs or because of other surgeries, they look like y'all now. Chinese girl looks like a black girl now. White girl looks like look at Iggy. Iggy went and got her butt done twice. So the advantage that the black woman used to have, that we see what they look like in Ghana, we see what they look like in Somalia and Ethiopia. Now these others look just like you. So when they look like you, they got this almost the same haircut, the same, and the body's the same, and they have easier character. That's an easy sell.
So what makes a black woman not have an easy character? Because I believe black women were built that way because of the many years of, oppression in some sort of way. I feel like black women has been the most attacked race in the whole world. You know what I mean? Because of how beautiful they are.
Mm.
Like, a black woman is built to carry a nation. A black woman is able to give birth to a white woman. Like, it's crazy how, black women,
a white woman can say the same thing if she got a black man too. She can say the same.
A white woman can't give birth to a black kid unless she has
a black man.
A black man.
Yeah. She has a black man.
But a black woman and a black man can give birth to a white kid.
Mm-hmm. All my children light skin. My children light skin. I don't know how it happened.
No, not light skin. Let's go back in history. Let's go deep. I'm telling you, black women are built different. Black women. I'll say this: anyone that attacks black women end up being in danger, and that's the truth. Mm-hmm. And for so many years, a lot of people never found the reason why black women are the way they are. It's a whole power.
I don't think black women are one way though. I think we cannot put all of. I have met some. I think a lot of it with the bad character speaks to the entitlement of certain types of women. I've met certain types of women, and mostly, and I don't care what y'all think. I'm telling you, lighter skinned girls are receiving a level of entitlement from the time they are small. It's cultural, indoctrination.
Light-skinned
Light-skinned black women. Light-skinned black women. They're seen first with the old racial, I would say, ethos of thinking. Light skin was seen as prettier, as seen as a higher caste system. White light-skinned girls were getting movie parts. Lena Horne. We're getting received better in social settings. They got better jobs. Right. So but I'm just going to say that when you are given a level of entitlement as a woman, when you know that because you're lighter skinned, not because you're even prettier, but because you're lighter skinned, you're going to attract men first. You're going to attract men easier. You're going to attract men more often. Men are going to try to do more for you. You have less of a reason to develop good character. And you will see that women who are not the quintessential light-skinned, light-eyed, light-haired women, some of the women who weren't like this, and that doesn't speak for all of y'all, but the darker-skinned girls, I have realized at some point they said to themselves, in order for me to be seen, I can't just get away with being light-skinned. I have to develop my interpersonal behavior, my sense of humor, my tolerance. I have to learn how to cook better. I have to learn how. And so you have in a microcosm a catchment group of, this doesn't pertain to all light-skinned girls either. Please do not come for me. But a catchment group of light-skinned girls and a catchment group of dark-skinned girls, and say, how are these two groups cultured? You'll see that many dark-skinned women came up in a position where they said, I didn't get a dance. I didn't date until such an age. I didn't get invited to the prom. I didn't get asked to dance. It was harder for them. They had to develop different character. Not saying that some of all the dark-skinned women that can give trouble the same way, and some light-skinned ladies are absolutely phenomenal human beings. But I'm saying that there are some times that something as simple as complexion can cause some people to behave rotten, period.
So that's what brings me back to the same question I was asking. You said our women are hard to date and white women are basically better characters. That's what you said to me.
No. I said the reason that some black men decide not to date black women is due to character. So they don't like the character of this of what is coming out of black women's mouths, the entitlement, the expectation to carry a household in 2022, where the average price of homes in urban areas is $2 million, to carry that household alone. Lisa Ray, a star, a millionaire. She's a millionaire. She said, if a man wants to be in my life, he has to pay everything. He has to pay every bill. He has to pay all the bills. I shouldn't have to pay no bills. She's a millionaire. So even multi-millionaire star black women are saying, if I pick up Tyrone on the side of the road and bring Tyrone home, Tyrone has to pay everything. Tyrone can't afford you, Lisa Ray.
But white women too expect the same thing. That's why they marry our men. Tiger Woods, wife married it,
No, but those men are going after the. I think white women.
They all have the same expectations. All women expect that.
I think white women as well as black women are attracted to black men. There's a difference. Yeah, white men are not going after black women at the same rate that white women are going. Every single ethnicity says tall, dark, and handsome. That is a catch-all. Black men have always been the specimen, the prototype, the Adamic ones that they're, even if they're saying, I won't date him because he's out of my culture, they still say, wow, he's attractive. Wow, I want him. So I think there's different reasons. I think that black men have always been, and I'm talking about dark-skinned black men, have always been considered a sexual iconic figure. Where I think that when I went to Africa and I looked on these billboards and I saw dark-skinned women on fashion and cosmetic and saying, wow, this is so good to see, because in the West, that billboard, if a black girl was on there, she'd be light-skinned. most of the time. When I went to Africa, I saw a different depiction of what beauty was. In the West, where most of these conversations are coming from, because you said it, they're not coming from the African voice. They're coming from the Western woman. The Western woman, the Western Black woman has been cultured with something different. She's behaving different. Her character is different. Her attitude is different. And we notice. And she's coming not for the white man. She's not coming for the Chinese man. She's coming for us to tell us that we're deficient. Hey, we're deficient.
But that's the same thing some men too also make some women. Honestly, I'm gonna vouch for both areas.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that this is the time for our people to really emancipate themselves from all this slavery that has been put into people's heads for so many years.
Right.
I think we should start thinking like kings and queens. We should start thinking in an empire state of mind that if we're gonna build each other, even if it's traditional or if it's modern, we're gonna have to really look at as this is our race. If we do not race properly, we're gonna lose the race as real life race. So it's a race to the finish line to keep our lineage alive. It's no longer about, let's say, you're too aggressive, you're too this. I think we should all heal. We all need to find a healing process within us. And when we heal, and let me say, starting from women, because we are the fruits and foundation of all great things. And if the roots and the branch is not healthy, we're all going to be basically dying out. So I feel like this is our time to come together as women and to heal ourselves.
As women and men. As women and men. Did you mean come together as women and men, or just women?
Women should heal themselves, and men will come along.
Oh, you can't heal yourself. You can't heal yourself.
You can't heal yourself.
Let me show you something that you said, and I agree with it. This is something. Oh, you can't heal yourself. But I'll bring that up in a second. I'll bring that up. In my opinion, I'll bring that. But you said something powerful. I want to piggyback off it. You said to see each other as queens. Let me say something very specific about that. In Ghana, in West Africa, if a man wants to marry a woman, he has to bring a bride price, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Because this problem might have been started right in Africa. Or you might have started this problem. So this woman...
Let's hear you. Let's hear why.
This woman right away says, if he wants to marry me, he must bring some money to my father. Okay? That's West Africa. If you go to India, you go to England, you go to other places, they have a dowry. They say, lady, if you want to get married, show me the money. Show me your dowry. So the African is saying, the African woman is saying, if you want me, you must pay for me. The white woman, the ancient white woman, the ancient Indian woman, the ancient Middle Eastern woman is saying, if I want a man, I must bring money to the table. That philosophy is still standing here in 2022, where the black woman is saying, well, ain't no romance without finance. What have you done for me lately? When the other cultures are building together as kings and queens.
That from that culture, it's the woman who's bringing it, right? Is that what you said?
The woman brings the dowry, yes. From Europe and the Middle East, the woman brings the dowry, and the East.
Right. And that's why Africa, in a way, if Africans can find their identity, we would be able to conquer the whole world. Why not? This is a woman who's going to be producing your children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, understand? Like, the womb is a powerful thing, eh? It's not like, let me go spiritual. If a woman carries your child for almost how many months?
10 months, 40, I think it's 40 weeks.
40 weeks. And you really expect it to be the opposite way, then honestly it's going to get dangerous for us. I feel like the African way was always the right way. I believe in Africa so much, and everything Africa does.
Tell us which way you're talking about. Which way?
Okay. In Africa, they believe that, like even the king, he believes that Ohima is basically queen. If a queen speaks, then the king will take in what she says,
right,
and then you will utilize it.
right.
But in other cultures, the women seem to be like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's no power given. And I feel like if the game of chess, if the queen isn't so protected, see what happens to the king.
Well, hold on.
So
Right now, England has a queen. She got a queen. And back in the day, Ethiopia, the queen of Ethiopia, the Bible calls her Queen Candace. That wasn't her name. That was her title. She was the Kandaka, right? You're right. So we have never said, men have never said to the modern woman or to traditional woman, we have never said you don't have a voice. We have never said you don't have value. Your opinions are not necessary. The scripture is full of prophetesses who have told generals, told kings, this is what you should do. That is not the conversation in this time. In my opinion, what I am hearing is the voice, the same voice.
Why the other cultures, the women are bringing to the table.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, that's your culture. For Africa, the men bring them, and that's why I feel like our race is different. I'm not watching the Western world. The Western world hasn't done anything for Africa. The Western world has done everything to break the African culture when it comes to marriage. The Western world even brought a culture where they said, yo, polygamy is evil. So why am I going to listen to people like this?
Wait. Talk to me. Talk. What did you say to? Come on. Wait. You. What did you say? What did you say? I can have how many queens? How many queens can I have, Eve? How many queens can I have? I have bride price. I have bride prices. I'll pay.
All I'm saying is, modern women versus traditional women, I feel like both should look at each other and take the good out of it. At the end of the day, an empire is your family, so it balances out. Like, I have a great father who contributes somewhat equal to what my mom contributes, and their union is blessed. I also had a grandfather who was a polygamist and contributed in his own way.
How many wives did he have? How many wives that man have?
I cannot talk. But all I'm just saying.
Hey, the African way is the right way. I agree.
You see? Now who's talking? You're the one that said that you're gonna go to the Indian and Asian and
listen.
You could go that way, brother, but we stick it to our roots.
Listen, even the Israelite, most Africans, a lot of Africans are Christian, and Israel, the men had to bring a bride price. The men had to bring a bride price. So Jacob, for example, he had to pay for his wife, right? So we are never devaluing that a woman, and listen, I'm the first to say, a good woman is worth her weight in gold, right? The question is what?
Proverbs 31. That's what it says in Proverbs 31. She's better than rubies.
Yeah, it says, what does it say? The virtuous woman who can find, for her price is higher than rubies. It means she's priceless. Period.
Thank you.
But hold on. It said, who can find? They're hard to find.
Some women, I never believed it, but as time went on and age comes with wisdom, I realized some women honestly really need to really get themselves together head-wise, and some can be selfish. So I do know that not every woman is a wife.
Listen, I'll say this. A woman, and let's use it. A bad woman only really needs to have one thing she fixes. Just one thing. She don't have to fix a lot. She has to fix how she values men who want to be in her relationship with her in her life. That's it. That's why I brought up that very toxic lady that I met in Ghana, because she had the one thing right. Okay? One thing. She made sure all that toxicity came nowhere near. She was a fire-breathing dragon. It came nowhere near her husband. And so this is my thing, that when men hear things like I heard from Lisa Ray and things like I heard from this young lady.
Let's not use the Lisa Rays and everything.
Okay.
Let's
when men hear the things that come from common women, when they say things that seem like that our job is simply to be a wallet, a purse.
That's not true.
When it sounds like that.
It's not true, because I know the average woman I know even expect the bare minimum and they still get nothing. So
Ooh, I don't know who they're dating. Listen, this is let me give all y'all the secret then. Let me give all y'all the secret. I'm going to give all of you guys the secret. I'm going to give you guys the secret how to get everything. Okay? It's similar for you all you like that like the gospel. All right? The people, the woman, the female, I have to call her a female, that gets everything in my life. She gets everything in my life. She's 10.
Okay,
and you know what? And you know why she gets everything? Because she is operating as from 7, 8, 9, from 2 to 10. She's operating in absolute pure femininity to her father. Pure femininity is the key that unlocks the stingy man. It is the coming to jack your car. It is the it is the straightener to straighten out the whatless man. It is the inspirer to inspire the lazy man. Femininity is what God gave man to make man function. When women eliminate pure, delicate femininity from their presentation and from their character, all they get is a fight, and they get the privilege to be alone. That's it. And so that's it.
So my question is, what is pure femininity? Like, what is being a female, or what is your description of being in its fullness?
Okay. So a female and a woman are not the same. All right. My 10-year-old is learning to be a woman. She's a little girl, but she's learning how to be a woman. When God gave man Eve, he gave her she was fully developed physically, but she wasn't fully developed mentally, and neither was he. But he gave man the capacity to say, this is a fully mature individual that you can pour into. You can culture her to how you are. You can structure her to work with you and to fit with you. A woman, this is what a woman is. She's a puzzle piece that can fit herself, that can fit herself into the man she's working with. She can make him stronger. She can make him more prepared for adversity. And she absolutely, if we're talking, and this is unfortunately the only thing that our culture talks about, she can make him more economically powerful. The reason Black people talk about finances so much, and women want money from me, and men, ain't giving them, because we've been, our riches have been stolen in the West. So all they can think about is the money, the money, the money, the money, the money. But if they could focus on saying, I will build a structure that cannot be broken, so that even if I'm the bottom of the tree, I'm the trunk, I'm the root that can't be pulled out. And everything that builds on me, in 3 generations, my children will never have to deal with poverty ever again, because I built a structure. We don't do that. The Black family is fighting over trinkets. Who has access? What day is your day? How much child support do you pay?
I don't know. You see, I come from a different culture.
Because you're African.
I'm African, so everything you're saying, yeah, it sounds like unorganized, but I come from an organized family. Like, they're not perfect, but they're very unorganized. So those type of traumas, I can't relate to it, and I'm being real with myself. I can only relate to what I've been conditioned. And my condition is, my dad helps out with the family. My mom helps out with the family. They come together and it's a union. That's all I've seen my whole
Are they
life.
married still? Are they?
Couples.
Not to get into your personal business? Are they still together?
Of course.
Okay, so that's great. But
I come from a very healthy
traditional family.
And I love
say the word traditional family.
Don't get me wrong. There's obviously parents, and even my cousins, like my outside cousins, they're also. That's all I grew up seeing. Remember, I just told you my other cousin, he's my age, he's married. Most of my cousins are married.
Right.
So I'm used to that structure of tradition, and it's helping us. I love, like, I go to family reunions and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I feel like I feel unfit sometimes. Because all I see is couples working together.
Perfect.
So
are they arranged? Are those arranged marriages?
No. They found their spouse through something. So no, I come from a background that has the union structure. And I feel like that's all I want to see my kids in. And if you program from now and you break those generational curses that were there before.
You don't have any though. You don't have any. You might not. Let me say, this lady says, Sister Yvonne says, femininity is willingness to receive from men who are givers. Females are receivers of love, spirit, everything, and gives back more. The African way is of man going to be the new daddy, showing to the daughter's daddy that he's able to keep her in the standard she's accustomed to. Okay. So my thing is, do you have an advantage that because broken relationships are epidemic in the West, where they're not like that in Africa? A woman, the court systems here have empowered Black women to say, I can, well, not now, thank God, Roe versus Wade has been turned over, but I can kill this baby in my womb. I don't have to ask nobody. I don't have to, I can do it secretly. I don't have to go to my parents. I don't have to go to the father. I can take him to child support court and not have to stay in this relationship. I can.
Yeah, but that's what.
That's Western courts. There's a structure that has been built here that has that. This is what I'm trying to say. It's a psychosis. There's a structure that has told Black women here. But watch this. Black women, white women, Asian, all of them have the same court system, but it's the Black women. 77% of them are deciding to have children alone, are deciding to live this life of, you have your stuff, I'm going to take your money for as long as you live. And Black men are doing, and Black men do this, which I don't see in Africa. I'm going to go marry or pick up this woman who's had 4 children or 3 children or 1 child for this man, and I'm gonna have a child with her, and then I'm gonna have a child with her who had a child with him too, and I'm gonna have a child. This Western post-slavery culture is how Black men, it's the commonality here to have multiple baby mothers. She has children from multiple men, and it's just, I'm saying, are you being protected, being in the continent, not experiencing some of the stuff going out here in the real jungle? Because Ghana's not a jungle. The jungle is here. The relationship jungle is here.
Honestly, don't get me wrong. There is certain people who are experiencing those type of situationships. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It is everywhere. Just that maybe in Ghana, some people just stay in a marriage and tolerate it. Some.
Well, maybe he's a polygamist. Maybe he's a polygamist.
You really like that topic.
No, I'm not talking. You brought it up. I didn't say nothing about it.
I'm not bringing it up. I just brought it up a little brief and I just took out.
Twice.
But I think what it is, at the end of the day, what it really is there's going to be structures like that's here, that is still there, but it depends on the individuals and what they're taught. If they're taught to be, running away from every situationship, that's what you're going to do for it. So it's up to us. It's up to us to emancipate ourselves from that slavery mentality and get better.
But you're a traditional woman. What you're saying tonight is I'm seeing and hearing the voice of a traditional woman. She wants things to be better. She wants things to heal. She's not screaming out, I hate men. No, I don't need no man. I've been raised to be independent. My father told me that nobody. You're
No,
not.
no.
And
I treated my man. Like people don't know. My whole life is surrounded by men, and they all treat me like a queen. I could not imagine my life without these men. So no, I'm not going to be screaming that story of no. I love our men. Our men are very powerful. Our men can be the best at everything. Even when you guys do stuff, it looks better.
I feel so supported with you. I feel so calming. It's so calming to hear your voice talk like this.
Blessings. More good energy.
My stress is alleviated. It's remarkable. I have a question for you, and we're going to close in 5 minutes. But
okay, cool.
How do I recognize early? I'm talking of early. How do I recognize whether or not? And some guy, listen, I'll say this. I was going to say, how do I recognize a traditional woman? What would I know? But some guys like the modern woman, you know. The ones who like the modern girl, they don't want no real relationship because they know those girls, that relationship going to last 1 week. she gonna last 1 week, baby. She gonna be like, she ain't gonna last long. It's okay. I don't mind because I don't want no real relationship anyway. I'm some brother like I'm for the streets, so I'm gonna chase all these toxic girls. I know the relationship gonna end in 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna get what I want. Boom, I'm out. Back in the day, a traditional woman. Oh wow, Instagram's saying I got 25 seconds left. Back in the day, a traditional woman, she smelled like Vaseline and Dettol. You could tell she's wearing them flats. You know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? If this goes out, we're coming back for the finale. I'm gonna come back live for the finale if this goes out because Instagram's telling me we got 5 seconds left. But okay, part 2 coming up. Okay, we're going to part 2 here on Instagram. I'm just going to add my good friend Eve's Eye back. Boom, boom, and see if we can get her back. Hey Sherry, good to see you. Yeah, we're gonna just wind it up here at the second time around. Oh, there she is. There she is. There she is. Here she comes. She's back.
Yay.
Instagram doesn't normally do that. That must be new. Maybe because I haven't been out here for a while, they demoted me. I don't know what they've done. Normally it's not an hour. I was able to go much longer than an hour, but maybe they put the brakes on me. So I would like you to wind it up. You're the guest. I would like you to tell us. I'd like you to talk to the modern woman, tell her what you think she needs, and I'd like you to tell us men, you know, if we're looking for a traditional woman, what should we be looking for? What, and that might not be who you think you are. And hi, Negwe Rama, can't pronounce your name, but hi, hello. But in the wind up, go ahead.
I believe your identity is very important. Mm-hmm. Once you realize who you are and what your power is, that will tell you your core values. So if you want to, if I'm going to talk to a modern woman, I would just say find your identity, and through your identity, you will discover whether you can be the best version of yourself to help our brothers, or let's say your husband, future husband, to evolve. I think you shouldn't look at being, like, if you're going to be modern, it's good, but also look at the long term. Like, look at the longevity of everything. Remember, you're here to leave a legacy. And if you don't leave a legacy by keeping your identity, how would you feel if someone treated, let's say, your son the way you're treating your husband?
Talk to them. Talk to them. I'm somebody's son. I'm somebody's son.
No, I feel like you're taking this too personal. But the truth is, I think modern women should really take it in on how they want their future generation to act, or future generation to be when they're not there. Like, just take it in. Like, you're not going to be here for long. Even if you're here for 100 years, what would you want your legacy to be? And how do you want to be remembered? And if you treat your black man a certain way, he will leave you good prize. Your kids will come out a certain way, and they'll be walking and talking about how powerful my mom was. So start from there, your identity. And for our men, get closer to God. Like, let's go spiritual. Y'all go back to where it first started. Y'all used to talk to God one-on-one.
Cool.
Before even women came on this earth, it was Adam and God. So y'all go back to what really brought women alive. The only reason a woman came was because God was talking to Adam so much. He's like, Adam, I love talking to you, but you need a woman. So talk to God first. Get to know what God will know what is in you, and he will bring the right woman. He will prepare a table before you. And take your time. Don't rush. I know I'm preaching this, but men, don't rush into relationship. It's not necessary. Build yourself. Build your wealth. Build who you are. And when a woman comes by, it'll be very hard for her to bring in any sort of crap, because she would have to involve herself. Make it hard for us. Make it hard for us women in a sense where we want to level up. No, I don't want it to be easy.
No settle down. No settle down. Level up.
No. So our men, build yourselves with God. Identify yourself with God. When a woman comes, she'll be like, ooh, gotta be my Q's and T's, and so build yourself with God first. That's what I gotta tell our men. And when it happens to that, go back to the Eden. Go back to the prayer points.
He will prepare a table before you in the presence of your sneaky links. Is that how it goes? That I think it went like. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That's all I gotta say. Men, just go back to spirituality.
Hey,
it works.
My sister, thank you very much. You made the show. You told the men, listen, stop chasing women and start chasing God. And God will bring honor a baddie. That's what you said. You said God will put.
I didn't say baddie. I said a woman. Before you were talking about female, you'll bring you a woman.
So you think Eve wasn't a baddie? You think your name is Eve?
Was a baddie, but Eve identity-wise, see, once again, Eve lost her identity. Because what provoked at Eve saying, "Yo, I'm in my body, my beautiful body God has created, and now this snake that's slithering around
has told me to go get a BBL? I mean a mango."
That's how I feel. I feel like the snake literally brought Eve to his level. So I'm saying identity. That's why I kept on saying women find your identity. Identity.
Right.
If you know who you are, you won't be compromising for anything. Then that's why I told men to focus on God, because women, we focus on God, that's great. But when a man focuses on God, it's a different type of anointing.
Talk about it. What kind?
An anointing that changes nations.
Ooh, Lord.
And commands authority.
Come on now.
When they walk, they'll be like, which man is walking?
The earth is moving when they walk.
I'm not going to say no more. So that's why I believe
Hey,
for our men.
Tell us, Eve, listen, you heard it here straight from the Queen's mouth. Okay? Her name is Eve. It's Eyes on Eve production. Eve's Eye. On
like the on the Bible. With the S, Eve's Eye production. That's my production page. And my actual main page is Imperial_Eve. The Imperial is with an E, not an I.
Your Imperial Majesty. Listen, this is Del K. Brereton. For those looking for me, it's DELLK. I'm the very first DELLK that you're going to find in Brereton. And we got to do this again. We've had a conversation about the modern woman versus the traditional woman. We have discussed aspects of how African culture, especially West African culture, is matriarchal. We have talked about the bride price, and my sister is saying that men should still bring that bride price to the table because the woman is valuable. I said the woman better have a dowry. She better have something to bring to the table. She better have something. Come on.
Blessings,
yes.
Hey, oh, I'm so bad. I'm Ghanaian, and I know I
can't say the man's name. Eve to the world. That's what he says. Eve to the world. If you go on this young lady's page, you'll see Afrofest. She was on stage. She was featured on Afrofest, even though the picture that she took with me, she didn't post on her page. I don't know why. I didn't make the cut. It's okay though. There's a highlight coming. Okay. We'll see. But she's an amazing voice. She brings people to the forefront. She's a bridge builder, as you see tonight. I tried to push her and to make her cause problem, and all she was giving us was unity. And for the men looking for a queen, she's single. She had no man. Okay, so she has no man. So this is he says this is stone. Okay, so love everybody. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm back tomorrow. Alexa, resume music. We have to go out the African way. We have to go out in style. We have to go out dancing. Alexa, volume 7. Eve, until we catch you tomorrow. Your cousin from Kumasi says, all love. Blessings to Ghana. From Accra to Kumasi. Blessings. Arch Culture Studio in Accra. Hey. My sister, bless you. See you later. Hey, YouTube. Catching you again, Sister Yvonne. Bless you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on The Real Spiel. Big up to you too.